Hi everybody, welcome to Running True episode 14. How do I know it's 14? Well, because I already recorded one today that said 13 and I realized my mistake, so I'm re-recording it right now. So I guess I've had a rehearsal then. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks. I was in Hawaii last week in Kauai. I like saying it so I sound like I'm a native, Kauai. But I'm not. And we had a really good time there. We did a lot of running, a lot of walking, had a really good time. But I should show you my progress, kind of like you might think it's going to be. You can see right here my week of my bad knee. It kind of set me back. And then I've been kind of struggling to get back up there. Oh, and there's Hawaii right there. This week I've got 52 miles planned, and I actually think I have a pretty good chance of getting there because I have, hang on, let me turn on the light here. Here, that's a little better. I actually have a little bit of a better week going. I've already ran 16 miles on just Sunday and Monday. I put in 16 miles. My plan is to start doing nothing but big miles except for on the days I run to work. All double-digit days I'm trying to do. I'll probably try to get to a 20-mile run in this week and then like a 10-mile and call her good. But I will get pretty close, I think, to that 52 that I have scheduled for this week. We'll see. I think I could get there. So it's been a little bit slower than I thought getting back into shape. I have had a harder time losing weight in this running, and I know a lot of that's due to the hormone replacement therapy, and then also the just being older, I think, has set me back as far as weight stuff. So I'm still up there, even though I'm putting in pretty good miles, but still it's hard to lose the weight. So Hawaii was great. I had a really good time. I went out in a tankini for the first time ever, and that went pretty well. I didn't get a lot of looks, not a lot of stares anyways, which is nice. I kind of was anticipating that, and either I'm passing a little bit better or people just don't care, and they've seen enough stuff that they don't really notice things like that anymore. And either way, I'll take it. We went on a snorkeling trip, and that's why I'm wearing this hat. I'm doing a plug for Blue Dolphin Charters in Kauai. Had a really good time. The weather was lousy, really bad, really high seas, like 3 to 5 foot swells. I guess we were out snorkeling, and, and it was pretty. People were getting pretty sick. Actually, we took some motion sickness medicine before we went. And I think that helped a lot. I felt nauseated, but I never did throw up. But it was nice. And the captain, Sarah and I were the only ones sitting up on top by the end. Everybody had gone down below because they were sick and they were cold and it was raining really hard. But we were sitting in the rain anyways, rather than going down in the cabin. And he invited us into the wheelhouse, so we got to hang out with the captain, Captain Chris, and that was fun. He's a very nice fellow. And like I said, I don't know if people are being more tolerant or if they're tolerant or if I'm passing or maybe nobody cares, but it was really nice. Didn't get any questions, didn't get any stares. It was really good. And I think, I think part of it is I never wanted to be a guy wearing a dress, seen as a guy wearing a dress. And that was something I brought to my counselor time and time again. And then as I started to transition in HRT, I realized that there is a deeper truth in this and actually dressing as the gender that you really are. And so then I started, so hence I can wear a tankini, and I don't worry as much about, do I look like I'm a cross-dresser or not to put down any cross-dressers, or am I, what am I? And it doesn't matter. What I'm doing is I'm telling the truth about who I am to you when I dress in a tankini. That was a weird thing to say. but I just said it. So it's all about being the truth. And I've been really thinking a lot as I have been preparing for this 31-mile run, how much I would like to just bag the whole idea, or at least downsize the idea. And hang on, I'm on low power mode here. I have to hit a button. There we go. How I would at least, downsize maybe to a 25K. But I think, I'm going to go through with it, but I would have no problem bagging out of this at this time. Because really, frankly, it's not as much fun as it used to be, the running. There are times that it is, but as I try to compare my running stuff with transitioning, I can say that there has not been a time when I had wanted to back out of this. It's felt right from the beginning. It is right. It's telling the truth. And frankly, I feel really good on the hormone replacement therapy. It makes me feel really good. And part of that's just telling the truth is making me feel good. So it's weird. As running, I feel like I can just bail and I wouldn't feel bad about it. I wouldn't even consider not transitioning at this point, especially being into it for over a year and a half. And which I guess is good, because I think it's probably too late anyways. Thank God. So I feel really, really good. And one of the things that I did think about when I was running yesterday, I ran to work the day before yesterday, and then yesterday morning I got up and ran 10 miles from work, and then came back to work, and then ran 3 miles home. So, but I went down on the trails, and I was really dreading it because it was going to be a long slog. And I got down on the trails, and I did really enjoy my time, and it was so beautiful down there, down in Riverside State Park. The trails, if you can get down there, they are gorgeous right now, and they're not wet, and it's a beautiful place to be. And so I kind of thought about that in light of some of the transitioning stuff as it has been a long road too, that I realized, on this Hawaii trip, wearing my swimsuit, that I was accepted. It wasn't a big deal. I just kind of blended in, and it was just fine. But also, our union had its 100th anniversary party. Local 29 was one of the founding firefighter chapters of the International Association of Firefighters. We were one of the founding members of the original group in 1918 that created the International Association of Firefighters. And so we were celebrating that, and I really didn't want to go. Number one, there was a lot of people who have retired who I haven't seen since I started my transitioning, and I was worried about how they may be uncomfortable around me. Also, there's also the element that, especially with the news stories recently, that I could actually steal somebody's thunder and take the focus off what should be the celebration of the union, and the focus goes on me, and I didn't want that. So there were a few reasons that I didn't want to go, but I got a call saying I should go because they were going to take pictures. They wanted to take pictures of all the former union officers, and I had been an officer in the union for a really long time. And so on the executive board, and I also did PR work for them for a while too, even when I wasn't on the e-board. So I went down and got my picture taken, and then it was I ran into a bunch of guys who had retired who I hadn't seen in a long time, and they were more than kind. They were actually very, very happy to see me, very loving. It was really nice, and I felt very accepted and very loved, and it was really cool. And in fact, Sarah and I sat at a table with a firefighter or fire lieutenant who had retired and was very, very respected member, very good, great firefighter. And he told Sarah and me that we were his heroes because of what we had done in the paper and that article, and that made me feel really good. I walked into the situation expecting there to be at least a lot of uncomfort, and I walked out probably, I was on cloud nine when I walked out of there. I felt so good, so loved, like I said. And then that kind of was a lot like how my run was yesterday too on the trails, where I was expecting a really bad time and I had a really good time. So I guess if there's something that I would encourage you in your transitions in life right now, whether it's in or out of marriage, children leaving home, new children, whatever, is expect some encouragement in some of the least expected places. I guess that doesn't make sense to expect the unexpected, but hopefully you'll see it and it'll make you feel good. Even if you're new to racing, running, foot races, expect no matter what your performance is there to be really embraced by a loving running community. At least you should be. Almost all the places around here are that way. So thanks for tuning in. I think I'm a little bit not as fresh as I would have been on my take one where I called it episode 13. And I hope I called it episode 14 at the beginning of this one. That's what I wrote down. So I will see you next week. I hope to have a lot more miles, be closer to my graph. My knee's feeling good. They've been doing a good job with it in rehab. And I'm ready to go. All right. Thanks very much for tuning in. Bye-bye.